Hey everyone, this is Tim here, and I was just thinking of, I was just remembering Bible verses, and I was thinking of one of the weirdest conversations I have ever heard in the Bible was when Moses is trying to get Pharaoh to let the Israelites go, and he sends frogs into the camp. And Pharaoh says, if you make the frogs leave, I will let your people go. And Moses asks, okay, when do you want them to leave? Pharaoh answers, tomorrow. I always thought this was the weirdest thing because the plague of frogs, people were basically drowning in frogs. It was everywhere. It was bad. Just simply the fact that I'm from Oklahoma. And if you weren't careful, when you were in the shower, especially during the summertime, frogs would lay eggs in your drain and would actually jump on you. And how annoying that was, and why, if just trying to picture that by the millions and then saying you want them gone tomorrow. And that's kind of when God showed me something. Everyone is dealing with certain frogs, if you will. One of them is always on you, and it's reminding you that you're a failure. You might want to do something, but you're not sure if you can. You've tried to do this before and you failed, so therefore you're a failure. Oh, speaking of that, next time you talk to someone who went to Bethany Global University around 2015 or 2014, 2015, around there, ask them if they ever thought that Tim May would be posting videos of himself preaching and giving messages on YouTube. There was one time where I actually tried to give a message in front of BGU. I got up, saw every eye staring at me, and my palms got sweaty, knees weak, arms got heavy, mom spaghetti every other Eddie, and I have never choked so hard in my entire life. Nobody could hear me. I was stammering constantly. They asked me to end with a prayer. How do you screw up a prayer? Somehow I accomplished it. But after that, I was just so embarrassed that I didn't know if this was actually what I wanted to do. Then when I went off to YWAM, they wound up having me speak again in the Republic of Georgia, which is in the former Soviet Union. And I had to have a translator because these people speak Russian and I don't. But anyways, I wound up doing really well. It's just, if I hadn't got up and if I hadn't listened to God, my final memory would have been what happened at BGU. So that's the same thing. There's the temptation of you're a failure. The second frog that people deal with is one that says you're not good enough. Maybe you have some kind of disability, or maybe you're not the best speaker, almost like Moses, who himself, if you remember, he had the world's worst stutter. He even mentions it. And as for this frog, one of my favorite speakers ever is Nick Vujicic. Look him up. He has this saying where If you put go in front of disabled, it spells out God is able. I mean, if you have a disability, if you're living with something that makes you feel inferior, do it anyway. Usually God will take that and use that to your advantage. Like the lead singer of Mercy Me, he's dyslexic. Just things like that. And finally, the third frog you deal with is the one who reminds you of your past. Whether you may have not have been the best person, you may have not have been the most moral. I've seen former gang members, former homosexuals, and once again, one of the answers I hear I really like comes from a singer known as Carmen. He has a song titled Revival in the Land, and it ends by saying it's Satan talking to one of his chief demons trying to decide how to defeat the Christians. It ends with the demon going, "Sir, you know what'll happen if you remind the saints of the past." Satan goes, "And what is that?" The demon goes, "They'll just remind you of your future." That's one thing that kind of stuck with me, and I hear in a lot of messages. If they remind him if Satan reminds you of your past, remind him of his future. On top of that, keeps asking if he wants us to take the frogs away and to do something with them. Why would you say tomorrow? Ask God to help him. Ask God to help you get rid of them now. But that's all I have for today. See ya. Bye.